excited for this evening social time to get to know each other and connect. Um, so we are super excited. We'll walk you through every step of the process. For now, we'd like to put some instructions in the chat here with our way we'll be connecting. So we have the spreadsheet that we'll use throughout the session tonight. Optional, but encouraged to put your name and email in, and you can see details there in the chat. So we'll get started in just a moment. We do encourage everyone to rename yourselves as well. You can click on those three dots by your video and make sure your first name is there. If you have preferred pronouns, and even a location could be nice as we get to know each other tonight. So feel free to rename yourself there with your first name, pronouns, and location. And in a moment, we'll get started. It is an interactive session tonight, so we encourage, if you're able to come on video, to do that. Also fine to join verbally or even observe. We will be going into some breakouts at a few points throughout the session, as well as taking a bio break halfway through. So yeah, just inviting you all to come on and engage as you're able.
Welcome everyone. I'm Danny. I am co-facilitating with Crystal today, and I'm going to wind the music down and get us started here. If you've just come in, we've put something in the chat that we'll be using to connect today. So it's a spreadsheet where you can sign in with your name, and that will then auto-populate our little offers and needs sharing sheets that we'll be using today. And so I'm going to pull up my little notes here, and please do feel free to let me know if you would like to be able to just be in this space today as an observer and not be participating. That's totally welcome. Just shoot me a private message, let me know, and I can, you can also rename yourself with observer next to your name, and that will let us know. But it will be a very interactive session today, and that's kind of the intention, is that we're have a chance to connect with each other. And this has been such an amazing event over the last couple of days, and it's been great to just be a sponge. But today we want to invite folks to come participate in this process that's designed to help us be in connection with each other, in conversation, and find what sorts of things we may be able to offer each other. So yeah, let's see. We usually start things off just by inviting folks to land, get present. So I'm going to go ahead and invite everyone to just find a comfortable place for your body, let yourself drop in. It's been such a whirlwind this last couple of days. There's been a lot. So just inviting you to take a moment for yourself to get present And if you'd like to close your eyes, you could close your eyes. You could just lower your gaze and just allow yourself to feel your body on the earth in this present moment, maybe taking some deep breaths, letting your shoulders drop, letting your chin drop, and just being here for a moment, noticing, feeling that earth beneath you that's connecting all of us, and just letting gravity hold you here, feeling that earth beneath you, letting yourself be rooted in the present, and taking a moment here as well to acknowledge the lands where you are, where each of us are. Um, the Post Growth Institute, where this offers and needs market process was developed, is headquartered on the lands of the Shasta and Tacoma peoples in so-called Southern Oregon, where I was also born and raised, and I call home. And I'm currently on, um, I believe, Washoe people's lands here, a few hours south. So just taking a moment to be with the earth, be with yourself, be with your breath here before we dive into things. Noticing how you're feeling. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're energized, maybe you're inspired. Just noticing what's true and present for you in this moment. Maybe taking a nice deep breath, letting out a sigh or a sound if that feels good. And when you feel ready, we're just welcoming you to come back into the space with everyone here, taking your time. And I'm really grateful to be here with everyone today. We have a packed agenda because we really want to give people the chance to connect in the breakouts. And so I'm going to, yeah, just uplifting something in the chat, encouraging you to be on gallery view gives that sense of like being in the circle with everyone, seeing each other's faces if you feel comfortable turning your camera on. And at this point, if you don't already have a pen and paper handy, now would be a great time to grab that. And you don't actually need to use a pen and paper. You could pull up a blank document on your device, however you prefer to like take notes for yourself. We're going to be prompting you to do some reflection and writing things down. And also, if anybody needs to leave early today that would like to participate but might not be able to stay for the whole thing, could you let us know in the chat how long from now you need to leave? That would be fantastic. That way we can keep that in mind. And yeah, again, I'm Danny. I'm here with the Post Growth Institute and my amazing friend and colleague, Crystal, and we're really excited about this session. I'm going to ask a little icebreaker question. And so if you are able to turn your camera on, this will give us a visual. I'm just curious if there's anybody here in the room currently that actually has experienced an offers and needs market before, in which case, could you put your hands out to the sides of yourself, like out wide, if you have, and if not, put your hands on your cheeks like this, if this is new for you. So that will give us an idea. And there's a couple of folks who know, but who have experienced it before, but this is new for many of us. So thanks for that. And the next thing that I want to do is just invite you to reflect on a passion that you have that is not related to your work. So Crystal's just put that prompt in the chat for us. What is a passion that you have that's not what you do for work, for wages, or to support yourself financially? If you have something that you're passionate about, just letting that surface in your mind here. And I'll give you a moment to reflect on that prompt. I'll just give it another 15 seconds or so to reflect. What's something you're passionate about? And as you have that thing in your mind, I'm going to invite you to just drop that passion of yours into the chat. Um, and let us know if you feel inspired to share in the chat your something that you're passionate about. And I'll read some out as they come in. Nicola says, I climb on rocks, which I also love to do. It's been a while. That sounds fun. My passion is music, personally. I see revolution. I'm passionate about that too. So feel free to keep those coming in the chat. Improv, theater, yes. I've had some fun improv experiences with you, Crystal. Much laughter. Poetry, comedy, drawing, photo editing, run, swim, bike, music, fashion, improv. Those are all such great things. Thanks for sharing those. And part of why we ask this question is because that's the stuff that we want to give lots of space to be expressed in this next couple of hours while we're together. It's going to be a little less than 2 hours now, but the Offers and Needs Market is a place to share these passions. So we're really excited. And thank you all for sharing those. I play with clay. I've been wanting to play with clay. There's so many good ones in here. Keep them coming. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Crystal, I believe, to go over our agenda for today.
Yes, welcome everyone. Crystal here. This is an ancient practice. May it awaken within you during this experience together that memory of coming together and caring for one another in the marketplace and reclaiming and healing some of the social isolation of modern capitalism. So tonight we are here to unwind, to build trust and maybe confidence in sharing with each other. And this is an ancient practice, as I said. The market's always been a part of Indigenous cultures, and I wanted to share just this quote about this from Siadam Edmo here in Oregon, Executive Director of Seeding Justice, who says the potential of using the Offers and Needs Market to benefit tribal communities is huge. Modern society separates us while commodifying our work and skills. In traditional tribal communities, there was ceremony in the everyday contributions people made. They didn't have a job separate from their purpose. They lived for a living. The beauty in your process is returning to those original instructions about how we are in community with one another, to treat one another and to value one another. So indeed, we are here together in this special way of reclaiming the marketplace and decolonizing our economy in practice. So today we'll walk you through every step of the way. We have first an introduction to this, and then diving right into the offers market, where you will get to reflect and brainstorm on what you would like to share in a small breakout group. And so we'll walk you through that process. We'll have a chance to network in that spreadsheet today. And then we'll take a break about midway through. We'll come back, jump into a similar process with that same breakout group in the needs market, discussing your needs, and then we'll mix it up, go into a different breakout group and have a chance to share some final offers and or needs. Then we have a survey and a chance for some closing reflections. So thank you again for being here. We're going to jump right into what the Offers and Needs Market is, and we'll keep this real brief so that we can just have the most time as possible sharing and getting to know each other. Danny will share some links in the chat there of our website, and this was developed by Donnie McClurkin about 11 years ago and really founded on asset-based approaches and appreciative inquiry, and looking at ways that we can come together and make visible the offers and needs right in our community. So it's a beautiful movement. We've trained over 250 facilitators, including some of you here. Great to see you, Joy, in this process. And people are using it in over 26 countries, and finding it a great way to connect and heal from some of this social isolation. So that's really why we are here today. I'll show you just one more graphic here in the slideshow, which is also in the chat. You can feel free to open this up and follow along as you'd like. So we walk through these steps here, starting with reflect. We'll move right into this. So grab a pen or pencil or blank document if you don't have one up already. So this is really acknowledging your own abundance first, and then we move into sharing in our breakouts. And this challenges this myth of scarcity. And then we connect, and we really are shifting today from the transactional to the relational as we cultivate bonds of trust. And this in itself is redefining our market. So hope you enjoy your time today. I'll see if Danny has anything else to add.
I think you about covered it, Crystal. I agree. We want to just dive right in so that we have as much time as we can. But just my one piece is like this particular iteration, this particular form of exchange in this way or connecting in this way is something that the Post Growth Institute practices, and we teach facilitators to use this particular version of this process. But it's something so ancient, like Crystal said before. So this isn't something new so much as just a form of something ancient that we're doing in this virtual space in this particular time in history when this is such a reclamation that we're doing to be doing this kind of thing. So yeah, thanks for being here. And
Awesome. So let's jump in with some reflections, some heart storming. Feel free to dream big here. We're going to focus on offers and give you some prompting, and then move into silent reflection. Again, we will be going into participatory breakouts. If you prefer to observe, please either message Danny directly, put it in the chat, or you can rename yourself by clicking on those three dots and put observer there. So many of us may not know each other yet, but here we are in a group showing up, wondering what offers we may like to share. These are some categories, and again, we'll kind of leave up a screen share as you're reflecting on your own here. You know, it could include passions, skills and services, opportunities that you know about, knowledge, perspectives, resources. Here's a little more detail on some of those. You know, it could be passions, things like conversational, things you'd love to connect with and have a conversation about. Might be knowledge and perspective, things that you have insights or can instruct someone to do. We have, you know, skills and services is what most people come to this thinking about. And you certainly can, you know, feel free to share and explore in this brainstorm the personal to the professional. And it could include things like opportunities, time specific or general, or resources. You know, it could include things that are kind of, yeah, getting creative with like lists of TED Talks or things like that. So here's some questions we'll leave up as we go into silent brainstorming for a couple of minutes. So these are actual things that you may want to offer and share with people here tonight in this room. I'll bring that back up in a second. Just wanted to see if there's any burning questions about what we're about to do as far as the reflection. Put a Y in the chat if you do have a question. If not, we'll go into some silent reflection, and then we'll explain what's going to happen in the breakout before we do that. So feel free in this couple minutes to brainstorm the big list of anything you could offer, and then we'll give you a chance to be like, well, what's the top two or three that you really feel called to share today? So feel free to dream big for a few minutes here, and then we'll narrow it down in a moment. All right, so enjoy. We'll just take 2 or 3 minutes here in silence for you to brainstorm your offers. Another minute or so to brainstorm those. And would anyone like more time in silence here? Put a Y in the chat if you would. So now we're going to tune in to the 2 or 3 offers that you feel most called to share right now in this group. Really tune in if you want to take a moment with your eyes closed or in your body, you can. And then with those offers you'd like to share, consider these things, what the offer is, and getting specific is good. What the availability is it a specific date or certain times or days? Location is it virtual or somewhere specific? And the cost, and this can be up to you. Is it fixed, negotiable? Are you open to barter, or is it free? So I'll leave that up for a moment and give you all just a little bit to reflect on what top 2 or 3 you would like to share in your breakout today. All right, so now we're going to demonstrate what exactly will happen in the breakout room here. So you'll be there with like 4 or 5 people. It's about, close to 15 minutes. So everyone has a chance. First, determine your speaking order. This is self-facilitated. So we just encourage you, whether it's renaming yourself with a number in front of your name, like, oh, I'll go first. It can involve a little bit of talking, whatever you need to just get a speaking order set. And then the first person shares one offer only one offer on the first round and share it in this format of your name, offering, availability, location, and cost. That should take like 30 seconds. You don't need to go too into detail. It's just like a chance to initiate some kind of connection. And then the person next, number two, will go. Same thing, sharing one thing that will continue around the circle. It will come back to number one to share a second offer. And usually there should be time for probably two, but perhaps three if people are going quickly. And then just take a moment to reflect on everything you heard. Feel free to take notes. We will be sharing in a spreadsheet after this. But then have one final round. Number one begins with any questions or clarifying, about what specifically you'd like to know about. So that's a chance to do that. And again, you'll have information in that spreadsheet we shared and able to connect after today's session as well. So if you do share in the chat, it will only be to those people in your breakout too. So if you're like, hey, here's the link, just be aware that that's who that will go to. Any burning questions before we jump into these breakouts? Just put a Y in the chat, raise your hand, or come off mute if you have any questions. All right, and again, we've got that slideshow for anyone to reference during the process here. I'll put it back in the chat, and I think we're about good to go, Danny.
Excellent. I have breakouts ready, and there's just one room of three participating people. So otherwise, there should be four in each room that are there to participate, and there might be an observer in your room who's just there to listen. But we're good to go. So,
Oh, I remember, Danny, too, that people can pass if
oh
you
yeah,
don't feel like sharing or ran out of things to say. You can pass, certainly.
yeah, awesome. So looks like we're good to go. And we'll be back here in about 15 minutes from now. I hope you enjoy the breakout.
All right, that was amazing, so inspiring. Thank you, everyone. In a moment, we'll encourage you all to get into this sheet. So if you haven't already, please put your name and email on the first tab of this spreadsheet here in the chat. I notice it does delete the chat when we go into breakout, so just we can repost anything. What did you all hear? Take a moment to absorb that. Maybe you close your eyes, put your hands on your chest, just notice how you're feeling physically, dropping into your body, feeling your feet on the earth, and reflecting on what you heard there. So now, what we'll do before our short break is go into this spreadsheet. We now have a tab that is for your offers visible. So I will show you that. Great to see some people are starting to put some stuff in there. I don't think I'm going to screen share today because we are sharing the recording of this main session with everyone who's registered for the conference. So just so you're aware, the information in the sheet will only be accessible by those people who put their emails in and choose to connect after this evening. So I'll just let everyone in a few minutes here add in. Your first step is to put your name and email into the participant list and then go over to the orange offers tab. You can get to it at the bottom of your screen when you're in the spreadsheet and go ahead and put in any details about what you'd shared that you would like others to know about. So I'll give you a moment to fill that out. Just come off mute or put a Y in the chat if you have any questions about this.
Another option for you, if you're not finding the offers tab in the sheet itself, you can put your offer and the details of it into the chat, and I can actually just move it over to the sheet for you.
So yeah, and if some of you are in mobile, as long as you get your name and email on that first page, we'll go ahead and send you an email over the weekend with a link to this and just a reminder to connect. So again, this information is only for people who are using this sheet and signing in here. Let's take another 30 seconds or so.
All right. I'm going to invite folks back from the break, and we're going to take a moment to like move our bodies. That's the invitation to get out of your chair if that feels good, or stay in your chair and just do a little stretch for yourself. Sometimes we do a little apple picking activity where we're grabbing apples, and I just had this idea. A variation on this is that you're sticking pictures of good memories onto the wall. That's what came to me. So you can try that one out, and maybe sticking them down on the floor too for some reason. I don't know. The apple metaphor works better for the downward stretch. Um, Thanks everyone for participating in the little stretch. Crystal's just put the rest of our agenda in the chat. So this will be what we'll go through before we wrap today. We'll get into the needs market, and then we'll do some connecting on the needs round, and we'll go into breakouts once more to combine offers and needs, and then we'll move to surveying, reflection, and then we'll close. So I'm gonna take us into the needs part of our process today. And before I prompt you to reflect, I just want to name that when it comes to needs, sometimes it can be a little more challenging to reflect on our needs, or it kind of brings up some tenderness, or perhaps it's not something we're used to. Sort of uh, putting our needs out there is something that's not always super familiar or comfortable for folks. So I just want to name that, and say that this is a space that's welcoming you, to inviting you to share and reflect to whatever extent feels good to you on your needs, and just wanting to yeah, make the invitation to dream big with this round. Let yourself really inquire deeply as to what it is that you are seeking. What are you needing? What are you wanting? And don't limit yourself on that. Um, Even if it's just in the reflection, and ultimately what you share could be something else. But I'm gonna put, or Crystal maybe can put the prompts for us in the chat, in terms of the needs, and I'm gonna go ahead and screen share this as well, if I can work the tech. So here's some prompts for us to help with our reflection on needs. You could ask yourself, what is a challenge I am experiencing right now? What is something I would like to learn? What is a resource I would like to be connected to? What is something I need the support of other people to do? So those are some questions that you can use to reflect. And we'll take some time in silence, like we did with offers, to just reflect silently and write down what comes to you. And so I'll go ahead and mute and give us a few minutes now to reflect. And yes, just let your mind wander, let yourself dream big, and then we'll also take time to select a few that may come to us that we feel drawn to share with others in this session today. So go ahead and take a few minutes now, and I'll check back in. So what we'll do now is we will maybe take a look at this list. If you have a list of needs, and just pick 3 that you feel inclined to share with this group. And maybe you don't have 3, maybe it's 1 or 2 or none, and that's fine too. But up to 3 needs that you might share in the breakout. And it'll be a very similar sort of format to the offers round, but slightly different. So we're looking at the need, its urgency. So maybe it's something you're needing by a particular date. Maybe it's not urgent at all, just something that would be that you'd be happy to receive at any point. If there's a location associated with the need or a payment that you're willing to offer, perhaps you're seeking it for free. So those are the things that you'll be sharing those details in the breakouts with folks. And Crystal's put that into the chat as well. And so I'll just give us a moment to select those three needs that we want to share in the breakouts. And I'm going to also just drop the slides once more so you can follow along once you're in the breakouts. So this round will be a touch shorter than the last breakout. So just keeping that in mind. We will be in the breakouts for about 12 minutes. And our breakout agenda, there are some REF lines. I'm not sure what that means, Christina. But
I'll take a look in the spreadsheet. I'll check that out.
Thanks, Crystal. Okay, in the chat is our breakout agenda. So just the same as before, essentially. And perhaps you've already got a speaking order from the last round. I think it'll be just roughly the same group. So before I open up the rooms, I just want to make some space if there's any burning questions coming up or questions that can help you participate fully. Anything coming up, feel free to drop in the chat or just unmute if you have a question. And then if not, I will go ahead and open the rooms for us. And we will reconvene here in about 12 minutes from now. So I hope everyone enjoys. Let the needs market begin. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I feel a little bit of, what's that acronym, FOMO. I would like to be participating more, but I'm doing breakout room things. So I hope everyone enjoyed. I'm just inviting you to let all that you've heard sink in, just tune into what you've heard and just reflect on anything that you are keen to connect with people about, or just maybe there's something that you've heard that's inspiring. Just taking a moment to reflect on possible matches, things that you've heard in the breakouts. And I'd actually love to invite, if there's someone who would want to share, if you have heard something, if something's inspired you, if you've found perhaps a match in this process and you want to share it with the group just for some inspiration. Hedgie?
So I was in a room with Dow, and I have a special needs chicken, and there's a potential that Dow is willing to help me with my special needs chicken, which is really great because their offer was to take care of one's ducks or chickens. And even though Dow has not dealt with this crossbeak chicken, Dow is potentially willing to learn. So it's huge for me.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, sweet. Perhaps one more if anyone else wants to share anything. Is there anyone else that would like to uplift something that you heard, some connection that was made, perhaps? And if not, that's okay too. But would love to hear. Thanks, Hedgie, for sharing. I see Justin.
Yeah, so I don't know if it resonated with every group, but it seemed like a common theme in ours was looking for companionship. And in a certain sense, we're never as busy or internet connected as we have been before, in various electronic ways, or even have a number of people surround us, but actually finding people who we can have shared lived experience with is something that seems to be a constant challenge. Um, Maybe it's somewhat by choice of how we, so over specialize ourselves. Maybe it's, how we make ourselves available present as well. But it is certainly a common expressed need, and finding ways to fulfill it, I think, are going to be real important moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Justin, for sharing that. Uh, Beautiful. Well, we are going to go ahead and get back into this spreadsheet so that you can write down those needs that you've shared. Maybe even there's a new one that's come up for you that you want to put into that sheet. So go ahead and follow that link that Crystal just put in the chat if you don't already have it pulled up. And if you are maybe your computer died and you got booted onto your phone, or you're not able to access that sheet right now, feel free to either put something down in the chat and I can migrate it for you, or you can always revisit this sheet later on as well. So I'll just give us a few minutes in that needs tab of the spreadsheet to write down those needs so that folks can follow up with you if they see that they might be able to fulfill. And so I'll check back in a few minutes.
Right, so just wrapping that up for now. Again, you'll have ongoing access to this sheet for the next 6 months. And at that point, we'll delete the sheet there. So yes, we're about to dive into one new breakout group. Danny's reconfiguring those, and this will be a round where you can share offers and or needs. You'll probably have time to share 2 or 3 things. So go ahead and take some time to reflect, maybe look through your brainstorming list. What would you like to share with this new breakout of people? Maybe it's something you've shared before, maybe something new has come to you. So just go ahead and take some time here to identify 2 or 3 things you'd like to share in a final breakout with new people. These are going to be actual offers or needs, and we'll have a chance after the survey to share some closing thoughts from anyone. So these are actual things that you would like to offer and or need. And we'll go ahead. Thank you all. It's the end of quite a long day. Thank you for hanging in there on this Friday evening here, and really excited to finish out here with our final breakout. And so now that you've got those, using the same kind of formula that you did before for an offer and or a need, and then we'll do the same thing in the breakout. Just get in there, kind of determine the speaking order, self-facilitate, share one offer or need per round is ideal, just kind of keeping it quick. And the reason that is to sometimes you get inspired by what you hear from others. And so that's why we like to do multiple rounds there. So share, the details of that, and then pass it around, have that same moment of reflection, and then clarifying questions. So let's let the offers and needs market begin. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. Wow, I heard some amazing synchronicities and possibilities for connection, from how to use a scythe to cut your grass to getting grants for your small size city to protect some forest land. So really excited. Just inviting you all to take a moment to reflect here on what you heard, and what's one thing you might plan to do as a result of today? Just take a little silence to reflect on one thing you might like to do as a result of today. And also know that just being here is enough. This is a lot. It's a very stimulating conference. You've met a lot of people, heard a lot of thoughts. So just be gentle and kind with yourself, and know that just being here is also enough. If you are inspired by today, we have some opportunities to get involved coming up. We have a free offers and needs market next Wednesday that we do every month. Another great way to connect with an international community of people and share this with your friends. We also train facilitators in this process and have another training coming up in September. So in the survey, you can let us know if you'd like to join the newsletter and stay in touch with all the exciting things happening now in this movement. Also have a few book recommendations I'll put here. That's in our bookshop here at the PGI. Decolonizing Wealth by Edgar Villanueva, Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and then also Collective Courage, A History of African American Cooperative Economic Thought and Practice, and that's by Jessica Gordon Nimhard. So some of those resources, and before we share the survey link, just wanted to say that we are offering, in appreciation for you taking the time to fill out this survey, to offer a survey prize. We'll randomly select someone who indicates in the survey you'd like to be considered, and that will be just a half an hour session with me to discuss how you might like to use the offers and needs market in your community and really ground what seeds we've planted here today where you live. So happy to share that with all of you. So Danny will share the survey link. This will take maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll have a chance to come back and share any closing reflections you have. So Danny will go ahead and play some music, and we'll just take 5 or 6 minutes here to get your feedback on the survey, which helps us continue to refine the process and get some feedback. Thank you. It's taking another minute or so to wrap that up. Loving this music you're playing, Danny. Thank you so much. Great to see you here, Tori. Thanks for being here. And we will go ahead and invite people, if you're done with the survey, just reflect on this experience and what you learned today. Was there anything surprising to you? Any potential matches or synchronicities? Just taking a moment to reflect on that as we finish up the surveys here. All right, so looks like we're just about ready here. Let's go ahead and see if anyone would be willing to share about your experience, about what you learned. We have time for maybe 5 or 6 people. Put a Y in the chat now if there's something that you'd like to share, or you're welcome to type up something in the chat that we can read. And we'll go ahead and see if anyone would like to share about your experience, what you learned, what surprised you. And then after that, we'll go ahead and announce the prize winner, and that will be the consultation with myself. So who would like to share? Really curious to hear from some of you. Come off mute or put a Y in the chat.
I can kick things off just to say that I'm an introvert, and I mentioned this in the survey. I'm an introvert. I had to talk myself into clicking the Zoom link, but I'm really glad I did. because connecting with people who are unhappy with the status quo and who want to take action to create something better and pull that future into the present is wonderful. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. PG says in the chat, I came expecting a demonstration of exchanging commodities. Surprised to have found a powerful way to meaningfully connect with people. And I agree with Kaimana here that we're so glad you convinced yourself to do this series. And that's really our intention with this design, is to have it be inclusive for everyone on the scale of introvert to extrovert. So glad you had a good experience. Who else would love to hear from a few other people? Was there anything surprising, any potential matches? What was it like for you? Put a Y in the chat if you're willing to share. Hedgie, well, go to you and feel free if anyone else would like to share, put a Y in the chat.
I think the interesting thing is I've been wanting to get a Skillshare together for in Humboldt through Cooperation Humboldt, and it's been stalled out, and it just felt like the details were getting really bogged down. And this was great because it's just so simple. It's simple, and it also does something more than I think a Skillshare list would do. It seems like it could really build community. And it helps me think when I'm listening to somebody say what their need is, I'm thinking, well, maybe I could do that. Even if it's not something that I'm offering right away, I'm thinking, well, maybe I can't do exactly what you want, but I could help you at least get over the hump of whatever that is, and so that was really fabulous. So it seems like it does more than just circumvent the capitalist system for the commodity. Like PG said, it's a way of building community.
Right. And it's like not even those of us in the room, it's those many, many connections and the web that we're all part of, where you can give those recommendations or referrals and help people out with the connection. Beautiful. Justin, and then we'd have time for one more if anyone else wants to.
Yeah, I'm, I guess, giving a third vote of confidence in that prior experiences that I've had with things of this nature were limited to stuff such as hobbies, interests, skills. So not necessarily commodities, but still along those same lines, because very instrumental. But here it's more social, relational, cultural, I think, in many ways as well. So that gives a deeper perspective with more insightful sharing, I think.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for speaking to that. Truly, we are here in this activity tonight, decolonizing the economy, putting this into practice. I encourage you to stay connected with us, whether following our work online or becoming trained yourself to bring this gift into your community. So if that's of interest, certainly reach out. My email is in the list, and we'll be following up via email with the link again to that spreadsheet to those of you who are here tonight. So we're so honored to be invited to participate in this beautiful summit, and for all the sessions that have happened and will happen tomorrow. Thank you for ending out the day with us. And I'll pass it to Danny to share about our winner and just say good night.
Crystal, yeah, I'd love to hear from you, Joy, if you have something to share.
Really quickly. I wanted to just presence how I really appreciated the opportunity to practice the kind of vulnerability in being able to name the offers and the needs with people that, you know, we don't necessarily know each other. And then the other is in such a short period of time, also really appreciating how the process draws out generosity, you know, amongst so-called strangers, you know. So I just wanted to name that and offer that appreciation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joy. I echo that. And just, I feel very, very heart-warmed and grateful to you all for being here and participating. It's always such a beautiful thing to witness. And I have an announcement of a prize winner somewhere in the chat. Crystal told me who it is, and I think from memory it's Kaimana. Am I correct, Crystal? Yes. So Kaimana, congratulations. You have won the prize. If you would like to reach out to Crystal to connect and claim that prize, you can just shoot Crystal an email. Or yeah, Crystal will email you. Excellent. And yes, Justin says, indeed, we in this meeting space come from a place of abundance and generosity. And yes, thank you all so much for coming with the spirit of the offers and needs market. That is truly what it's all about. So thank you all so much. I hope you all get some good rest and hope to see some of you in tomorrow's sessions and or somewhere in the future. But much gratitude to you all, and take care, and spread the seeds of this, whatever that means for you. Much love and appreciation to everyone. Bye. Thanks, everybody. Feel free to come off mute as you go.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Aloha, hui ho.
Bye.